Hi everybody, and welcome into my living room. Today I want to go over what was sent to me by Tat Mama and the Bag Brigade, and I thought today I'd just sit in the living room and do this stuff as I went over the 10 things that I like about spring that I was tagged in to do. I hope y'all doing great, and I'll just get on with these 10 questions and take it from there. I'm going to get comfortable here, so you gotta excuse my breathing a little bit. I had a breathing treatment a little bit ago and I'm kind of like out of breath. So, all right, number 1. What do you like doing in spring you cannot do other times of the year? Me personally, I like to take a walk after a spring rain. When it's been raining outside and it stopped raining and there's no threatening weather, I like to get out and just go for a walk because everything just smells so crisp and clean and fresh, and I just like to do that. Okay, number 2, your favorite spring flower. Well, I actually have 2. My favorite flower is a daisy, but I also in the spring love the smell of hyacinths. I have some growing by my driveway sometimes, and when you get out of the car you can just smell them, and they smell really good. So that would be my 2 favorite flowers. Okay, number 3, favorite things that you like about spring. Okay, I like everything coming alive, but if I had to really say something, it would be birds. Because I have bird feeders in my yard, and in the spring the birds like to fly back from the south, and I see all kinds of birds out in my yard, and I could just sit out there and watch them forever because I just love birds. I mean, I've always wanted to fly. If you watched some of my previous videos when I was younger, I wanted to fly the Blue Angels, and that didn't happen. So, but I still love the thought of being able to fly. What is your weather like? Number 4, in the spring. Mainly, we get combination of everything. It's according to which way, it's like which way it wants to go. We'll get rain, we'll get sleet, we'll sometimes get a snowstorm, the last snowstorm in late April, early May. It just depends. But usually it's a lot of rain. When do you start gardening? Usually in May we put out a garden. And saying that, everybody, I want to give you a piece of advice. Please, 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 and I can't say this enough, do not garden without gloves. I learned a very valuable lesson here. As you guys know, I recently had a couple of surgeries back to back. The first one was on my abdomen, and it's still healing and swelling, going down and stuff, but yeah, it was that. And the second one was on this. About 4 years ago, it's when it started. I was gardening, I was planting rose bushes. I had a rose thorn get up underneath my finger here, and I thought I got it all out, but I kept saying, God, it still feels like something's in there. So it swelled up and got all funky looking. I went to the doctor, and he said, oh, you got a wart. So we started treating it as a wart. Well, it wasn't a wart. And it started getting all sore and messy and stuff, so we just kept freezing it, and putting medications on it, and it wasn't getting any better. Then it went to this finger. So when it went to this finger, I said, wait, something ain't right. I was getting a little worried about it, so I went and got another opinion, and she sent me off to a dermatologist this year. Now, mind you, that went on for 4 years. I went into the dermatologist's office. He didn't know nothing about me. He didn't know I garden and all that, and the first thing he said to me is, oh, I've seen this before. You get this from soil, contaminants in the soil. And I said, really? And he said, yes. And he says, the bad thing is, I got to hurt you to get rid of it. So what they wound up doing is, because it was so deep and got underneath the nail beds and stuff, they had to cut in chunks of my fingers. Like, cut them out and then scrape them, and, well, they froze them first, and they swelled up like the size of a bratwurst, and then they cut the chunks of it, where the stuff was, and then they put medicines on it and scraped them all out and stuff. But let me tell you, your fingers, when they got done, for the longest time, and still yet, they look like you stuck your fingers in a meat grinder. And that flesh actually it rots as it's like a frostbite. And it rots. And I kept smelling something, and I kept saying, what is that smell? What is that smell? Come to find out, it was my fingers. So I called the doctor. I got scared. I said, look, I'm getting a really bad odor from my fingers. And he goes, oh, that's normal. That's just the flesh and stuff dying off and come. So, I mean, I knew they looked really, really nasty. I mean, it looked like something in a horror movie. But, you know, I kept washing them with the antibacterial soap, and I had salves and I had to put on them. I had to clean them 4 or 5 times a day. So he called me in something different, and that kind of took care of the odors and stuff that was coming from it. But I had to let that go on for a few days before he, you know, would allow the other stuff to come about. But please, people, do not garden without gloves. I can't say it enough, because I'm going to tell you something. This hurt. Hurt worse than getting my abdomen cut open. And I mean, I was cut. Like, from here to here. And it was, yeah, this hurt worse. All right, it says, the next one. Do you celebrate Easter? Yes, I celebrate Easter. I celebrate it for my Heavenly Father. And I also celebrate it with my family on a dinner. And we all get together and, you know, we do the little things for the kids, the little ones, which there's not too many little ones left. They're all grown up on me here. So that's how we do our Easter. It says, do you crochet anything special for the spring? Well, yes and no. If somebody is, and in our family is pretty large, if somebody's having a baby, or, you know, it's close to spring or the summer, I'll crochet something, or I'll make a receiving blanket, or I'll embroider the little quilt kits that you get. And sometimes I do one of each, and that way, you know, the quilt matches the crochet blanket, which matches the little receiving blanket, and make a little set that way. But yeah, I have crocheted a few things in the spring. But, I mean, like clothing and stuff, no, I haven't done that. 8. Number 8, your favorite spring color. Well, I've always loved pale yellow. I like the pastel colors, but I've always loved pale yellow. It just always reminds me of brightness. It's just bright, and it's cheery, and it's happy. So, yeah, I like pale yellow and the pastels. Okay, number 9. Do you spring clean? Yes, I spring clean. That comes from being a child and having a mother that was a clean fanatic. She was kind of like Granny on the Beverly Hillbillies. Every spring, everything got moved out, everything washed from the ceiling to the floor, and polished and put back. And she was one of them, cleanliness is next to godliness. And on top of that, she had knick-knack salt pepper collections and hundreds of them on shelves. And every one of them we had to take off, haul into the kitchen, wash them, dry them, you know, polish them, put them back on the shelves, which took 4 to 5 hours a day to do that, plus washing all of her china and stuff. So yeah, that was part of the spring cleaning. And we were the type that a mop and broom wasn't good enough on the floor too. Sometimes you got on your hands and knees with the rags. So, and number 10, do you go anywhere on spring break? Yeah, sometimes we do. You know, if the financial situation's okay, we'll take a little vacation. We usually go down through Tennessee and then into Florida. We have family both in Tennessee and Florida, so we get to see the mountains and the ocean. So that's kind of makes a little nice getaway. So that's, yeah, we do sometimes go away on spring break. But that's the 10 questions. Now, she tagged me on this, and she tagged 3 people. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to pay it forward and tag 3 people or not, and I don't know how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and tag 3 people. Please don't get mad. Don't think, you know, I'm tagging you. If it's like a chain letter, bad luck if you don't do it. You know, I don't know, but she said, you know, she tagged me, and she said she tagged 3 people. So I guess I go forward and tag 3 people. And the three people that off my mind right now that I could think of is Michelle Crochets in Kansas. Hi, Michelle. John Boy Crochets. I'm sorry, Crochets. Hi, John Boy. And the third one I would say Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches. Hi, Jennifer. So that would be the three I would choose. So, guys, I'm just passing it forward. So, it was a lot of fun for me, so I hope you find it the same way. And Amanda from Tap Mama and the Bag Brigade, if you guys don't know who she is, you need to really watch her channel. She is the sweetest person. She wears her heart on her sleeve, and you can just see the kindness in her. And I just love her to death. She's one of the first people I started watching when I came on. And yeah, I really like Amanda. She's really had some hard knocks, but I'll tell you what, she's my rock. She's a little angel on my shoulder that says, hey, if I can do this, you can do this. And I think of that all the time. So, hi, Amanda. Make sure you check her channel out. It's Amanda, Tap Mama, and the Bag Brigade. And I also would like to see that, or to ask you guys to do a favor, but also out of the kindness of your hearts, if you would please. As you all know, I have a new friend that's got a channel. She just started. Her name is Diana Sparks. She started that Wild Rose. It's ROWS channel. She's a crocheter. And recently she's had to have some medical tests, and she's a little afraid, scared. I can see it in her face when she's doing her videos. And I would really like if you guys could really say a prayer for her, that everything comes out okay. You know, we're all women, a lot of us, some of you men out there, but, you know, breast cancer and fears of that, going through, waiting for tests and stuff, is scary. So please, guys, if you would, check her channel out. She's a sweet girl, and please pray for her. And another channel that I would like to give you guys a shout out is, like I said before, is Sharon on Connection of Lives and Interest. She's another really sweet lady. If you guys could give her a watch. She does promote channels. She goes and promotes your channel. She'll help you with anything, and you know, she'll tell people about your channels, and she passes it forward. So if you guys could give her a check out too. She's really sweet. But that's what I wanted to get on here and do these questions and just catch up a little bit. And and I wanted to show you guys what I've been working on. As you knew, I told you I was living in the recliner for a while, and I was doing some crocheting what I could when I could. And I did get some done. So as you guys know, I was working on this daisy patch flower quilt, and I'm getting quite a bit. I did 12 squares of it in the blues, the little blue flowers. I did 12 squares in the pink. I did 12 squares in the yellow. And I did 12 squares in the lavender. And now I'm going to do 12 squares in this apricot orangey color. And then I'm going to see how it looks putting it all together, if it's big enough. If not, I'm going to add more colors to make 12 more squares and make a spring afghan for the back of my couch. So I guess that's about it, guys. And don't forget, I got the giveaway going on my other video before this one. And that's going on till the 28th of February. So make sure you sign up for that. Remember, you got to be 18 years of age. And so that's going on for that one. And let's see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you guys. Not that I think of, I am working on a few things that I'm trying to get done to get mailed out to a few people that I wanted to make something special for. But on saying that, I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. Stay safe, and remember, I love you, and be kind to one another. And like I said, see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.